Welcome, Internet, to episode. Oh shoot! I gotta change this. It's episode 3. Uh,
I just want to
episode
put my
3.
hand over that corner. Okay, I can't see it. You guys just do the same thing. Okay, we're good.
Gotcha. Everyone, cover your hand over the thing. Yeah, fair enough. I am joined by my sister Jess. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about Drew, my older brother? How are you doing?
Bad?
My fair play thing going, eh?
I don't know. It's stuck in my head, man. It's stuck in my head.
How's everyone's day going?
Not bad.
The internet is gonna ask name of the cat again, just for all the people out there.
Oh, mine?
Yeah,
This is Mr. Cuddles.
Mr. Cuddles.
Mr. Cuddles. Nice.
Yeah, the classiest man alive.
Fair enough.
The classiest.
He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, it's Dos Equis.
Yes.
I'll have to maybe bleep that out later.
Oh, right. Some kind of, well, I don't know. Are they going to turn down the advertising, though?
Yeah, it'll take us a while before anyone really sees this video, so it really doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want. Like until everyone else catches on. We can
Until it blows up and it's on, eBiz or what's on the Biz on the radio show?
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're very early on, exactly like Joe Rogan. Like we're that good.
Exactly like what?
Joe Rogan. Just no one knows.
Rogan.
Just setting a realistic trajectory already. That's really good.
I try.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I watched the very first episode of like Your Mom's House, and they're literally like, it's like the camera's fuzzy. It's like the two of them sitting on a couch and like sweats with mics craned over, and it's like they just smoked a fatty, and they're kind of like, yeah, I guess we'll just sit here and talk. Yeah, okay, Anyways.
So yeah, welcome to the episode. This is the Survivor Bus podcast, episode 3, season 23, episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone know the name of the episode?
Reap what you sow.
Reap what you sow.
Sure is.
Any questions? Like I always say, if you disagree with anything Drew says, that's
Sure.
And Twitter at bus_survivor.com. That's if or praise me, either one. I'm fine with. Who wants to start us off? Drew, do you have any notes, or Jess?
Yeah, I mean,
I got lots of notes
on Redemption Island there, right? And Christine gets to meet Semhar.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel so ragey about Semhar. It's reaching Lil level rage, and she's been in the 3rd episode. She was voted off first, and I'm still this bothered by her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that says more about her than me. I think Semhar just sounds so sad. She sounds sad. Like, she's like, oh, who's there? What's her name? Oh, just dying on the island. And it's like, oh my goodness, get it together, lady.
Yeah, I definitely experienced the cringe as well.
Yeah.
It's
notes.
Huh?
Oh, I have some notes when you first see Semhar.
Yeah, go.
I said Semhar greets Christine sadly while looking in rough shape. But she's mugging it up for the camera a little bit, right? Like,
Who? Who?
It's just too much.
Semhar.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a Charles Dickens reference. Anyway.
Oh, I haven't read a lot of Dickens.
No.
I'm gonna remove this for now.
Not Charles.
Yeah,
anyway.
it is. I do like the. It's almost easier on my eyes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just generally found her cringy. Like, you can see they do the pause, like, and I get that she's like trying to psych herself up, but she like stops to everybody, like, everybody look at me for a second while I'm like doing my thing. Like, why not? Wouldn't it be like more badass to like spit your, spoken word, rhymey shit while you're juggling your pole or something? Do you know what I mean? And be all Zen Jedi. It was like everybody stop and do this thing, and then it sort of pans around. And everyone's like, and it's one of those situations where you can't really say anything about it.
Oh, like
no one's really gonna. Do you know?
challenge.
Yeah, at the start of it, before they start competing, right at the very beginning, she like makes everybody pause, and then she says a few words.
Well, hold on. Can I pause right there real quick? I have something I wanted to point out about.
Is it a tiny thing?
Yeah, tiny. I should make a graphic for this, like Dave's.
You should. Unfortunately, you stopped. But anyways, okay, go.
But so, do you remember why Christine said she was voted out when she showed up and said hey to Semhar?
Because Coach doesn't like her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says it was because the tribe wasn't ready to play the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's because you called Coach a temporary player day one.
Yeah.
He just rallied the troops.
Not even day one, hour one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like right out of the gate, she just punches herself right in the face. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I don't know, there was one time in like elementary school where someone challenged me to a fight because I like made fun of them and I was like joking about it just because if you get bullied, sense of humor is the easiest thing to go with. And it was like, yeah, meet me after school by the dugouts. And there was like a lot more people on my side than there was on his side. And I just feel like Christine was that person that was just like, yeah, screw Coach. And then just she didn't do anything beyond other than hate Coach. Coach rallied his troops. She did nothing.
I mean, she tried to find, she had the clue or whatever. She was looking. She just didn't get it. So she was trying to back it up.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. What do you think it is that makes, so you got like Coach, Ozzy, right? There's a couple things that happened sort of like around both the, in the episode, but what do you think makes a team decide to like, because what she was saying is right. He's a returning player with a lot of experience. Maybe we want to look at getting rid of him first. That would be my assumption is that's what people would go with, but that would be something as a private, you'd be like, or
you wouldn't say it to Coach.
Or you would have a conversation where it would be like a risk versus reward analysis. And it would be, whether you're going to keep them around and get rid of them at 5 or 4 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've started thinking about that a lot. I learned some things this episode. Tribal Council was really good. We'll talk about that then.
It's something we actually talked about in the previous. Oh, sorry. Did you have something else to say, Drew?
Well, I wanted to know what you guys thought. What makes a team decide if and when to get rid of a player like that? If you're on a tribe and you have a returning player, what do? Does it depend on who they are? Do you have an overall what?
I've seen, this is one of the first seasons where, well, actually, no, if you think about it, on the Savai tribe, they're looking at Ozzy almost the opposite. Like, people treated Ozzy as like, thank God Ozzy's on our team. But as soon as he showed up to the Savai tribe, they're like, yep, we're getting him out. He's not making it to the end. But with Coach's tribe, they disrespected him since day one, and now he's in an alliance of 5 and calling the shots. It's weird how both legends are being treated almost in exact opposite ways every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I weird.
think it
like yay anyway. So
it depends on the returning player, definitely, because everyone has already seen their game, right? So it depends, I think, mostly on how beastie they were in challenges and what their Kitty, stop. He's attacking your face, Dave. I don't know. I think he likes your green headphones. He's been watching them for a while. Oh God.
That would have been awesome, actually.
It depends, yeah, like what those players say to the camera. I don't remember Coach's original season. I know he's all about honor and integrity.
Yeah.
There's 2 previous seasons, right?
So
This
why
is-
don't they like him? Is it just because he's a bit of a tool?
Well, he was
He's-
on, what was his 2 seasons? It was Heroes versus Villains that just had previously happened, and he runs into Russell,
Right.
and his first, because Russell knights him, right, like Coach like kneels and goes, "I present my loyalty to you, Russell," and Russell like
Oh,
knights
right.
isn't a talking head. He's like, that guy's a fucking idiot. And what was his first season? I want to say it was early. I want to say it was like mid 10s, 10 to 15, somewhere in there.
But he was never like a backstabber, right? He just got far. He's just a strong player. Is that why they all hate him?
He was indecisive and wishy-washy, I think, is probably what a lot of fans, in my opinion, would call him. Is he kind of would put himself in these positions where he'd be like, well, I don't know.
Right. And then go with some weird excuse following his heart or something.
Yeah, but can't that just be strategy of like, keeping your options open and just appearing
Oh, of
frazzled
course.
and indecisive? Do you know?
Yeah.
It just makes you look like a jerk when you're wrong.
True.
Right? Like,
Sure.
if nothing ever hits the fan, it's a great strategy. But as soon as something hits the fan, you suddenly have to try and explain your way Houdini out of the straitjacket and come up with something.
Speaking of that, the next scene is back to Apollo, and it's Michaela talking to her talking head, and she's saying she doesn't understand why Brandon wanted her out.
Yeah.
And she's all confused, and he says the line, I was almost 150% sure she was going home. Almost 150% sure.
150%.
Almost.
Almost. 49.5% sure.
Oh, God. That was painful. But how did he think she was going? The only people that agreed were Christine, and they didn't even agree, Christine and Stacy.
He confessed at tribal council that he lied.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, he's like, yep, didn't work. Like, I'm assuming he dropped like a rock after that in his own mind.
Yeah.
Or maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't.
Ugh, I don't know. Awful. But next is they get the tree mail, and Coach is dying to go watch Christine do this duel.
I don't understand why. Can someone explain to me why he needs to go? Is it just
he wants to watch her lose?
Just him being vindictive?
No, he wants to know that, because, and he talks about it later on. He wants her to lose because he wants there to be no more chance. Like, he was successful in getting her voted off, and it's like now it's like finish him, and he wants to see the finisher. Like it's not over yet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
true, yeah.
And then I don't know. Yeah, he wants to watch. What's a good finisher? I don't know. I'm thinking the Mortal Kombat one where they go and grab the spine out of the dude, and it's like it was like Sub-Zero or Scorpion or something.
Sub-Zero was always the most badass, but
right? I was totally a Sub-Zero fan.
Scorpion was way cooler. We do that chain thing. Come here.
I guess. I don't know. Sub-Zero was the coolest.
I'm gonna just put this up here. Everyone give their
yeah, Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. Who's better?
Sub-Zero is the best.
Scorpion.
Hundy P.
Okay, there
See
you
what
go.
the internet says. Yeah.
Anyone disagrees, come at us.
Okay, wait. Can we agree then that? Well, I don't know how many people email that could get crazy, but if it happens, are we tallying this up? No BS electoral college. The majority wins.
Yeah. Okay. Majority wins.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
Through every single email and mention. Controversially, I've got nothing. I'm working. Got the time.
So yeah, Jeff immediately calls out the ugly tribal from the night before. Like immediately, they get to the duel, and he's like, "So Christine, that was pretty ugly, hey?" Like just right off the bat.
Yeah. Can I? There's a one tiny little deep dive I did that I don't want to go in vain.
Yeah.
This is a little bit back when Christine gets to Redemption Island. She says Coach is like King Farouk. Did
Okay.
anyone catch that or notice what that was?
No.
No,
Oh, really?
really. I guess you're gonna
You
give us
tell.
the deets
You
here.
look excited. Go for
Yeah.
it. Let it rip. Full send.
Anyway, no. Guess it doesn't matter now. No, it's all good.
What? No, we were serious.
No, Liam. It'll drive the internet nuts. It'll break.
I'm just saying, I did it.
Let him run. See how other people respond to that shit.
Email if you want to know about that. We'll answer it whenever we can. Okay, next thing.
Wait, so you didn't actually do a deep dive on it?
No, I did. I sure did.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
he just doesn't want to tell us because
Oh.
my sarcasm.
I got like a picture of him right there. That's King Farouk. I got it all ready to go, but
It looks like he was a Shriner.
Yeah.
I don't know. The short story is he was a huge jerk. Bad guy.
Really?
And she's comparing Coach to that?
No, Jeff was.
Well, no,
No,
he's
Christine.
was like a. Hold on, let me double check this. Yeah, he believed he was like a hand of God. He was overthrown. Yeah, bad guy.
Bad guy.
All
Fascist.
right.
But like everyone worshipped him as I guess he was a king of Egypt, right? So that's
Sure.
why I think she's making that comparison.
Okay. So you know, if that was this season, it would be like a Trump reference, right? It'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah. Guy tried to start an insurrection. I don't know.
So the other thing that I'm assuming, are we at the challenge now?
We're at the duel.
The duel.
Mhm.
Okay. So would it surprise anyone that I transcribed Semhar's spoken word before this challenge?
It would surprise me, but I'm intrigued.
Sure did.
Oh God.
It takes time to pause it every so many seconds and write everything down.
Did you throw subtitles on?
I don't know if there were subtitles on this video, but
No, but when you watched it.
No, he just listened and wrote it down.
yeah, I listened and wrote it down. Yeah, I couldn't find like not a script, or I couldn't find a transcription of the episode, so I just
Subtitles next time. Hit subtitles on Netflix is your option.
Yeah, you still have to pause it and write things.
Write it down.
Oh, sure.
Okay. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for this man. Take off my clothes and give him a private show to the tunes of his soul, and he's all that I need, no more. And I would give birth to 10 of his children. I would not use drugs to ease the pain, and then I would give birth to one more because our love is that insane. There is not one thing I wouldn't do for my best friend, my honey, my boo. I can't wait to meet him.
What? Can't wait to meet him?
Hold on, I can't wait to meet him. Oh, she says, I'm a head out. I mean, I'm good. And then, yeah.
So she does that while she's balancing, right?
While she's waiting, yeah. Jeff checks his watch. There's plenty of, shots of this in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, really? She's just gonna. We have to wait for her. Everything stops for her.
Oh God. Oh, she's the worst.
But that's the. I made sure I wrote that down because I was like, that's
insane.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I did. That was a good payoff.
Like, what a time to start spouting that off. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Sure was.
So how do you like the balancing challenge? Do you think you guys would do well? I'm like almost 150% sure I would lose. No throwback?
Sorry. You gotta say it like Bert. You gotta be like 150%. It's not one. It's 100, like 100%.
Yeah. She's adding a syllable for
150%.
Yeah. Adding a syllable for emphasis, for sure.
I was making a throwback to the Brandon.
You can even add more syllables.
I know.
You can even
Okay.
go
I got it just like
100%.
no. It's the same amount of syllables. One. They're both one.
100%.
100.
I was actually asking
You
how you guys would
can
do.
elongate that whatever you want. All right, I'll stop.
And sit down.
I sat down.
All right.
That was danger. I feel like that proves my point. Can't even keep a headset on. That I would lose this challenge.
Oh.
I don't think I'd be the first one eliminated, but I don't think I'd win. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'd win.
Well,
Keep in mind,
That's
though,
tough.
I mean, well, I don't know.
2 people.
Yeah, 2 people, right? So I'm like, well, if I had to play against Samhar, I'd win. But then I'm like, okay. What if I was in her spot and I had to play, right? I don't know.
If I had to beat either one of them, I feel like maybe. Like I feel like I could hold my own against Samar and Christine in the same
I
challenge.
thought they did a really good job. Like for how long? When I first saw what the challenge was, I was like, "Oh, they're screwed." But they hung on longer than I thought.
When I first saw the challenge, I was actually kind of annoyed because I'm like, "Oh, this is such a good Final 5 or Final 4 challenge." That I'm like, "Oh, they're wasting it on a Redemption Island one-on-one duel." Okay, fair enough. But then the next challenge was better. But some of those balancing ones with the rods, they've just been doing forever. Normally, when it gets to the last like 6 or less survivors in most seasons, that
Yeah,
it just seemed weird to see it as like a throwaway challenge here in just episode 3 of Redemption Island.
Throwaway challenge. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, you're mad they wasted it on.
It's such a good challenge. The suspense when it's last 4 people when we're on like, the end of the season and someone needs to win it or they're definitely gone. It's such a good challenge to do with like 8 people that a one-on-one just seemed a little bit of a waste to me. But
yeah.
now there is some challenges before we move on here that I think used to be used as group challenges that I feel are better one-on-one. The dominoes one, where you just have to push the set of dominoes. I think that's a good one-on-one challenge that used to be used with like 8 people and.
Oh, I don't know if you're frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So then they go back.
You just had a little lag there.
Okay.
I guess Christine wins. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
over Samhar. And then they go back to Apollo. And Brandon's just being crazy again. Which just summarizes every episode.
It's
He
shares who he is.
What did I write down?
Oh, it's just cringy. He's like, oh, it's just his whole. I don't know, man.
Just tired of wearing this T-shirt. Whoops.
Wait. Is everyone here first? Is everyone here?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Okay, it's really hot in here. Now my shirt is chafing me.
Yeah. They must have been like, called us over to watch him take off his shirt.
Some of the facial reactions were amazing to this.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Sophie was immediately like, "Oh shit!" Like she knew.
Oh, I like Coach seemed like shoot. That was information I thought I had over him, and now I don't have that power anymore. I could see that face in Coach.
Yeah,
but there was some great facial expression.
I don't know. I'm glad he said something because I think it just solidifies how erratic he is, and he went in with this like hard plan and like everything he has like spoken to the camera about being his core beliefs, he's gone against like constantly. So you can't get a read on this guy. He's got to go. I don't know why they like. I think Coach refers to him as a valuable asset, and I'm like, how?
I heard that too.
How?
How is he an asset?
I don't get it. But
Super weird religious people like saying they believe in one thing and doing something else. Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Super
watched so
uncommon.
many
I see what you're saying.
It used to be in Survivor, if people were annoyed by you, you were the next one gone. Just
Right?
simple as that. If everyone was annoying,
Sure.
you're out.
Yeah.
And then it suddenly turned into, if everyone's annoyed by you, let's just keep you really close, keep my arm around you, and just walk with you to the final.
Yeah.
And it suddenly shifted, but it used to be, hey, you're annoying, you're gone. I
Yeah.
don't care how you do in challenges. You did something that annoyed at least 3 people, and you're out of here now.
Yeah.
Like it's,
That's how they
Well,
did it.
it would be a pretty easy game to play, right? You just wait around for somebody to make themselves a target. You find something, some kind of scandal, you're Monica Lewinsky, if you will, right? And just be like, oh, look. And then it's done, right? And you just play a 1, 2, 3, not it kind of a game, right? And
by the
it would work, but it's very predictable, right? And
Yeah.
then all you have to do is be able to convince somebody of some slander you come up with, and it gets probably
True.
pretty fucking paranoid.
If anybody has any comments on that Monica Lewinsky joke, or any guess of how old Drew is, that's fuckingsurvivor@gmail.com. @buffs_survivor, Twitter.
Yeah, actually,
I
wow.
am very open to hear all guesses.
You should have done the age guess after dating it. You could have just left it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure this will tell us as much about tell our audience as much about you as we will be able to tell about our audience.
Sure.
I see.
Super.
So then they go to Savai, or Savai is what Jeff actually pronounced it as. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's Papa Bear breaking down the pecking order and saying that it's him, Don, and Cochran on the bottom. And like Ozzy tells Keith about the idol, and then Keith immediately tells Whitney. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I can totally trust Keith, and he tells him on the path, and Keith's like, oh, thanks for telling me, bro. And Ozzy's like, yeah, if I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have even told you. And then the next scene is him telling someone else, like, God damn it, Ozzy. Why did you need to tell anyone? Why did you need to tell anyone? Why?
Well, because she has nice boobs, Dave.
No, but why did
What was he supposed
Ozzy
to
need to tell Keith? Why couldn't
why
Ozzy
did
have just
Ozzy-
held on to it?
Wow.
There's no reason for him to tell anyone.
There's no like female arrogance in there. Hey, like must be because she's got a nice rack, not because he was trying to make an ally.
What, Keith?
Yeah, you're
he
just
had
like,
an ally with Ozzy, and he went against it. If he thinks he's going to go further with Whitney than Ozzy,
but okay, but like having knowledge about the idol is like the next best thing. Knowledge is power. So if you let somebody know right away, you can be like, no. Remember what Dad told you? I fucking hooked you up with that. You made those decisions based on that knowledge. It changed your game. So it's like a commodity while it's hot. Once, if Ozzy could tell you and then decide at dinner time that he's just going to tell the tribe because it's in his interest that night, or something comes up where it's like, okay, well, I don't think, so-and-so that everybody wants to vote should go. So listen, guys, with their alliance, I got an idol. We'll split and we'll do this. I don't know. I just like, anyways,
it just seemed like
it might not be about her boobs. Is all I'm saying. A little bit of an assumption.
Yes, you're right. It was.
Yeah.
Because she's done nothing so far. So.
But
I don't know why you want to link yourself to that.
Well. So, okay. Because the person on the bottom is generally the free agent, and usually the type of person to be like, okay, I'll go with whatever you guys are going to go with to keep me relevant. Do you know what I mean?
She's mid-level useless, I'd say.
Right. Maybe she knows that. Like, I don't know. Okay.
Good point.
I see what you're saying. You're trying to defend it. I just have my beliefs as to why he chose to tell her.
That.
That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I always get nervous when there's two strong dudes that pair up too. I feel like that's always a mistake for them, like Ozzy and Keith. Yeah. I hope they're subtle about pairing up, because that's better. And if Keith were thinking that, like maybe he's trying to align himself more with a girl to like disillusion everyone from thinking that him and Ozzy are buddies. I don't know, but
Thanks for proving my point.
Here's
If
can
you're
I,
thinking
can I
that.
pose a quick question?
Mhm.
No, tiny question. Lean in. Come
something-
on.
Yeah, Dave's quick question. Yeah, I need some sort of video.
Just do it. Just do it like normal, and people will know.
I have a question. How much is a promise or information worth? And that was just a question I said out loud as I was watching the guy Keith spill the beans immediately, and I have my answer, but I was just curious.
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, well, here,
Well,
I'll tell you my answer.
I think that's an extension of loyalty, and it's like premium content in the game of Survivor.
Hmm.
Okay, so is there for Ozzy telling Keith he had the idol? Is there an equal bit of information to give back? Like, what would equal is that? Because I feel like telling someone you have the idol is like $100 bill. I feel like saying you're going to vote for something might be a $5 bill. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you'd have.
You know what I mean? So is there something really worth as much or more?
It's like a vote. To me.
I'd say that would be like knowing that Sandra really dumped the fish.
Oof.
It'd have to be a big event that you'd
That's
be
a good
like,
point.
no, dude, this is how this went down.
Yeah. No.
Just between you and me, yeah, man. They're eating coconuts on the side. I went with them one time, but kind of been hiding from everybody else. So if you want to come next time, we can make it 4 of us. But there's not a lot of coconuts. It'll be just us.
Yeah.
That.
But sharing that kind of thing is a way of solidifying its trust and loyalty, right? And if you're going to choose to share that with someone, you're expecting them to vote with you, right?
Kind of.
I was going to suggest it was like an I love you version of Survivor. You never want to get a I know. You want to get an I love you too. You know what I mean? It's that big a deal.
Here's the thing: you expect them to vote with you, and they might tell you they're going to vote with you, but really, it's like the person giving away the information. It's like lending money to someone you don't really know. You gotta hope you get it back, but you gotta expect that you won't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think you're right, Dave. I think it's super valuable. I would trade closely guarded secrets for that. I might even. I don't know. I might get duped, but I might even tell them something just to kind of extend that I trust them as well and try and
Yeah, right. Give you the I love you back.
Yeah.
So I guess we're heading to Apollo, right? Am I wrong?
You're right. And this is Michaela. She's, you know what? She's had enough. And she's going to be like, Brandon, what the fuck? Let's talk.
I have, okay, yeah, go.
I just love it.
You first?
Oh, I just have a short Brandon quote.
Yeah. Oh. Sure, here you go. No, we don't have to do it.
No.
I just thought it'd be funny.
He's like, I'm telling you as a man, keep me out of the drama. And I'm like, why is he qualifying as a man? He doesn't really act like a man. And then he's like causing the drama, but then he's like the
most dramatic.
Like stereotypical, like, oh my god. So anyways, I wrote down, I dubbed the cringed.
Yeah.
So, I'm just like, he's so cringy. I'm like no longer interested. I'm just like, oh, dude.
Okay. He like
on this because I've got a couple.
He calls like a group meeting, to like.
Yes, Brandon calls a tribe meeting. I have that also written down.
Being aggressive and crazy. He's like, she's coming at me. Everybody come here. Like he's trying to make her look crazy. And he's like, I'm just saying she's not in an alliance with anyone, right? Like somebody speak up. And of course no one's going to say anything. And she's sitting there like, oh, he's an idiot. And it just makes Brandon look like a nutter butter.
He is.
The one thing Russell apparently didn't teach Brandon before Brandon left was how to read the room. Unbelievable.
Oh, it's so. And then the next shot is like Brandon taking a nap by the fire, and he's all covered in ash. Like it's
Yeah.
I know, I saw that, and I'm like, what? I don't know.
just
Has
so dramatic.
anyone ever in the history of Survivor called a team meeting multiple times? Was it
In one
2 days in a
episode.
row? 2 days in
Yeah.
a row?
I think it was the same
And
day.
ever, like, that's never a thing. So I
No.
don't know why he calls everyone out and calls himself out in front of everyone within 24 hours. And
Constantly.
expects, like, I don't understand why no one else gets this.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well,
And I
that's
like-
why, because he doesn't understand.
No, he's
Yeah.
confused.
Unbelievable.
Confused man. Yeah.
Well,
Did he just not take Russell's calls before he left? Like Russell texting him and he's like, I'll do it myself, uncle. And just like hangs up his phone, puts it in his pocket, and then just
imagine yourself as
whatever
a
this
fly
is.
on the wall between those two men talking about Brandon going to Survivor after. How much is Brandon's ego in there? How much is, Russell's ego in there? And he's like, yeah, kid, go fall flat on your face. Do better. Bitch, I dare you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there was probably like the gauntlet has been thrown. Do you know? And I'm sure Brandon was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to church now. I'm a Christian. I'll be better, do better. God will help me. You know what I mean? Right? And he's like, faithfulness. I don't know what Russell would
It's
say.
so nuts because he's like going on about the battle of good versus evil, and it's like, it's just like, settle down. It's like Survivor. It's not good or evil. It's just a game.
He's talking about what happens in his mind.
Yeah, no, I know, but like he's getting that way because of this game.
Oh no, because he was talking about that, like hinting at that, like the first episode. Like he's like, I used
like
to be a
that in
bad
real
guy,
life.
and now I'm, you know.
Sophie makes a great reference that I didn't deep dive. No more deep dives. Because I didn't want to. Well, I didn't want to get super religious because she makes a Whore of Babylon reference.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like I needed to go on a deep dive of that, but Google it yourselves. But
sure. Well, now I'm curious.
That's what she says. Brandon thinks
Michaela
is.
Yeah. He does. He thinks she's just
Which
running
is
around
good. It's a
throwing
biblical
herself at
reference.
everybody, and it's crazy. She's so not like that.
I feel like this would be the perfect place to insert like a Reddit comment feed.
Yeah.
Someone like jokes about the Whore of Babylon, and someone's like, "Why did she sleep with the whole city?" And then hilarity would ensue. I don't know.
Hilarity would ensue. That's true.
So next is friggin' challenge time.
I like this challenge. I feel like I should, at the beginning of every challenge, give this Dave thumbs up or thumbs down sort of rating.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up for this challenge. I'm a fan.
I love this challenge. This is probably one of my favorite Survivor ones I've seen, period. The rope makes people work as a team.
Yeah.
And it's forward, it's in and out. And then normally it's just at that point you dump all your puzzle pieces and you got a couple sorters. But there's another right with the grappling hook. So like the organizing people sort of still are like a little bit of dexterity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got every piece of it. I was wondering, it feels like it was a better idea to send out like this, like they kept sending big guys out with the boogie board. And I feel like that was a mistake. Like, wouldn't you want to send somebody lighter to reel back in?
Well, that's why when I saw Dawn for a split second, I was like, really? And then I was like, no.
She flew back. Yeah.
She flew back.
Yeah.
Barely touched the water, just skipped.
Yeah, like her and Michaela, when they'd run out there, they would just zoom back.
Who would have thought? Okay.
Ozzy would drop the dang boogie.
Yeah, that was the big takeaway was Ozzy.
I swore.
Are you serious? That was the big takeaway?
Him failing?
Yeah, him failing was huge. Ozzy.
Okay.
He was falling after he's pouring on water. He just
did no one notice? Okay, so the first fuck up was the team. You don't remember?
Oh,
the first 3 times you go out, and then at the end he's like, "You guys let the and they had to bleep him out. And
He's a thief.
You're telling me that they might have yanked too hard before he said go, and that's his fault. And how come nobody? No, well, okay. What about Cochran when he's like, "Hey guys, there's a tangle," and they're just all, and then that was the first fail that like.
Sure.
That's a good point.
So,
I'll give you
and the team failed like 4 or 5 times, and then so Ozzy didn't drop it. He wasn't holding on to it properly at the time when they pulled, and it came out from under him, right?
They were already going, and he let go to pull up his bottoms and couldn't hold on with the one hand. If you go back,
sure.
Who did pop?
He had a good grip, and they were pulling him in, and then he let go.
The word you used initially was drop.
Yeah, well, he let go.
He got pulled out of his hand. Well, he let go with one hand.
It's still his mistake. He wasn't grabbing on.
Did he say go first? I'm going to have to go back.
He was already pulling. They were like mid-run.
Anyways, I don't see how that. I think that's just him being like a prominent player. Like, what about? I don't know. I thought there was more interesting things. Like, I don't know. Like, Don was the one that dropped.
Totally right. I just found it on screen. Sorry.
But Don was the one that like dropped the. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know. I thought the team failed way harder than Ozzy. I think that was a big thing.
Because Ozzy's typically way up here, so for him to even make the tiniest mistake feels like a way bigger drop, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's a prominent player. That's why I'm disagreeing. I think here, put the Twitter thing back up, Dave. That's why I'm saying it's because he's a prominent player. And I'm like, no, dude, the team failed him way fucking harder. The whole team should be gone. Just Ozzy.
Okay. So does everyone have an MVP of that challenge?
My mind.
MVP
Sorry, Dave,
of
what?
that challenge.
MVP.
Who did the most?
I feel like Albert did a pretty good job.
Albert's a good shout. Sure.
It's a very unsung hero. And
Coach did a lot.
Coach. That's what I was gonna say. Who was doing the flag?
And Brandon. Brandon did.
Right, that's right. I made this note here saying I understand Brandon being an asset now because he was whipping out there. It was shocking for his weird little body.
He's like a little Rottweiler. He just goes.
Yeah.
I used to work with this guy who was my partner. My partner was a fairly portly guy, but this guy we knew, he'd be like, yeah, he's pretty nimble though for a girthy bastard. It is true. He like climbed scaffolding like he lived in the jungle kind of thing. Like, nuts. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Right.
I thought Coach was pretty good for me, especially with how he got all the. Do you know what I mean? Like he put him back in the lead.
Yeah.
Is Coach secretly Batman? He's really good with the grappling hook, guys. Like really,
Where else
really
do you
good.
learn that skill?
That or maybe at least part of the League of Shadows, right?
Yeah.
Somebody. It was really good. Jeff seemed super, super impressed by it.
I had a note about this around Dawn. I thought like she seems pretty meek for she looks athletic. Like she's got like pipes like mine almost. Do you know what I mean? Very like shoulders, biceps. Do you know what I mean? Looks like she goes to the gym. Low percentage body fat. She doesn't look like she's carrying any extra weight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you don't get that way by sitting on the couch, right?
No.
I mean, maybe she's like a runner or cycling and that's all she does. But I was just like, I don't know. She was like, and then she cut in, and I guess it's the team failing again or her not looking back to make sure, but she tried to cut in to get her thing and right. And
wasn't
didn't have that. Yeah. So, and I was just like, oh, you look like you would be good at this. And just so I don't know.
So Upolu wins that.
Oh yeah.
No, just nothing. So moving on. All right.
What?
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got nothing. You said everything. Everything I'm gonna say.
I know. I agree with
what you said, Drew. It's just. Is there an echo in here? I'm just not even gonna. Yeah.
No,
you save the listeners the time. I agree 100%.
Yeah, sometimes there is an echo in here. Anyways.
Yeah.
So then it's back to Savai, and it's Papa Bear and Cochrane like discussing their shit positions. Really, Papa Bear's like,
Well,
"You're
it's
me."
Papa Bear trying to manipulate Cochrane.
Well, he's not wrong though.
It's true. It's
feel
true.
like-
But
Dude,
he's
he is spot on, because when they come and tell him and they're like, yeah, man, it's going to be Cochrane. He's like, oh, yeah? It goes full in detective. He's like, yeah, why? Why are you going to
What do
vote him
you think?
off? Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think? And he
True.
gets a story, he compares the story, right? And
He
then
does it perfectly.
he's like,
Oh my
no,
God.
it's so
Guys.
me.
Guys, maybe Papa Bear used to be Batman.
No,
He
I
goes
don't
into
buy it.
super detective mode. He totally gets it. He's a
No.
human lie detector somehow.
He would, no, I could see him being an Alfred, though.
I was gonna say
Probably a pretty good Alfred.
pick up some tips.
Good
Yeah.
call. Good call. Okay.
And like Cochrane
Continue.
knows
Sorry,
what
I'll
to do.
take my tinfoil cap off. It's all good.
Cochrane like listens to him and he fully agrees, but Cochrane also knows that at least it's not him this week. So he's like, yeah, he's right, but I'm not going to stir that pot because if they,
Yeah.
don't want to vote for him, it's me. So
Yeah.
Cochrane's like, yeah, you're right, buddy, but also like, stop. Like
He's got no other choice.
And
What do you
I think his play to right, like pretend that he had an idol was smart.
yeah.
I was surprised that nobody else noticed sooner. She was like, "Did you guys see that?"
Yeah.
Like, so.
She's really concerned. But I guess
Yeah.
Keith, Whitney, and Ozzy all know that Ozzy has the idol, so none of them cared, probably.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Their head isn't
They're
watching
just
for the
not on.
flag. So that leaves a bunch of people that were at the beach that would be like, whatever. Which
Yeah.
should have tipped her off then too. Like, why aren't you guys worried about, like, whoever isn't worried about him going for an idol? Whoa.
I was totally
Drew?
thinking that. Yeah.
When you feel safe in Survivor, I've seen plenty of interviews and read plenty of articles that if you feel safe in Survivor, your blinders are like way bigger than they normally are.
Yeah.
You just don't notice two people going off to get water together. You don't care who goes and gets tree mail. You don't care. There's just certain things that you're
You don't
just
pick up on.
your radar becomes a little bit more. If you don't hear your name, you don't freak out.
So
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, "Where's that guy going? Where's that guy going? Those two people are walking to the beach. What's going on? What's going on over there?" It's
Mhm.
just.
it is. It's
But if you're
almost like
safe,
being
that's
on the
like
bottom
months away.
gives you like an awareness buff or something, right? Like +2
Absolutely.
to perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I remember, I forget what it was, another season, another episode, but it was something, and there was like, it was like the team that had to vote somebody out as pre-merge, and it was kind of like, or maybe it was, I don't know. Basically, there was people talking, and this guy made a comment. There's two people over in the shelter napping, and he was like, "Yeah, like if you knew something and you kind of knew how things would go, like if you had an idol, you'd be super comfortable. Maybe you might be having a nap right now, right?"
Oh, yeah.
And so, as soon as this kind of came up, I thought, yeah, you would have to, like you said, how come she didn't notice that the rest of them were not worried about him looking for an idol, right? So that would be a clue if you were her, that you could notice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
True.
Just notice yourself if we ever get on Survivor. Just be like, if everyone seems chill, but like whenever anything happens, I think what you'd want to do is take a second to try and notice how everyone reacts.
It's
Absolutely,
no
yeah.
surprises. Just no surprises.
Yeah.
Right?
Well-
As long as I'm not surprised, I don't think I'd be worried playing Survivor. Anytime
Are you-
it's a surprise, it's like, hold
I'm
on
not
a
on
second.
pin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to?
That was off script. You guys ad-libbed that. That was not
Yeah.
part of the plan. But I don't care what the plan is. It's like, to make a reference from The Dark Knight, Joker says it when he's talking to Two-Face. He's like, nobody cares what the plan is. He's like, even if the plan is horrifying.
Yeah.
It's just as people are like, as long as it's not me getting voted out, I don't care. Sandra won a whole season based off that entire strategy. As long as it's not me, I don't care.
True.
We got to the very end and was like,
Well,
that's why it should be me, and did like a training day sort of speech. But I'm lying, not really. But
not really. Wow.
I love that.
That whole as long as it's not me is a perfectly legitimate strategy that a lot of survivors have used.
Kind of what Cochrane's doing in this episode, because he that's
True.
he likes Papa Bear, but he's like, I don't want to do this. He's like, I know everyone's good to go to Redemption Island because it's like a chance to get back in the game, but he says he views it as extended failure and more depression. I was like, yes, Cochrane.
Yes.
I like that he was kind of like how he talks about, because he talks about him a little bit like characters. It's like, well, if I resurrect that Cochrane, I could just look like a spaz. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah.
Just adds to the view that I'm neurotic and overly, and nervous. So
He's so self-aware. It's good.
he is like, even in like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously the next season he's in is much better, but I'm still, it's weird to like the first couple episodes, but it's still fun to watch. I am kind of impressed. Yeah. Like he's, and he's not going around like I've seen other people do, like, well, I know all this stuff, and I'm, in season 37, this happened, season, whatever. Like, I mean, I guess it's too early at this point, but anyways.
I don't know. Like, yeah, he has toned down the Survivor references, but when the first thing Survivor fans hear from you is, can I be called by my last name, Jeff? Like all the Raiders Survivor players.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. He's definitely, he let off one way, and that's the path he's on.
He hit the ground running,
he has to fumble a bit before he realizes,
I don't know, man. It's a first impression thing.
This is him tripping, maybe not falling over, just stumbling a bit, picking himself back up, not breaking stride.
Do you think
he's not into a jog or a run yet, but he's getting there.
Well, if you want to be, I mean, you got to consider it's like it's his introduction to the other survivors, but it's his introduction to the world too, right? You'd want that. You'd want that to stick. Huh?
He doesn't know how CBS is going to portray him, right? He's just sort of.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's no wrong answer there. I don't think it was a stumble or a trip at all. All you want is, you don't want to be there like after you finish playing your music with like Simon Cowell going, yeah, that was utterly forgettable.
Yeah.
Not bad, not good. Just it's gonna. I'm gonna forget that in 5 minutes when something new happens. Like whatever, right? So I think he was smart. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Like it's fucking brilliant, man. To like be like, no, here's me. I'm establishing myself as I'm gonna be a popular player. That's my plan, right? Like
that's a good point. That's a good point.
So then they go on to Tribal.
I liked Tribal.
Yeah.
I was a big fan.
Papa Bear tries.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
He has to.
And what's Poker Weed Boy's name? Jim. I love how like Jim's like, no, we're just good friends, and he's like, bullshit. And by the way, you're gonna be on the bottom of that 5, and he's kind of like for a second, and then I don't know. Maybe it's the way they edited it, but it did seem like
he shook some heads.
Yeah, that comment got a little traction. It felt like.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like it was, I don't know. Yeah, it was a really good Tribal. Yeah. I mean, he knew it was happening.
Was there any other interesting? Because I just like Papa Bear the whole time. I was a big fan. I don't think I remembered many. They didn't ask Cochrane anything, did they? I didn't write anything.
I don't recall that. I didn't make any notes on that.
I think it was mostly, yeah.
Because Papa Bear was scrambling, and Cochrane was trying to keep it cool, I think. Because his last Tribal,
he's a mediator, yeah.
And so, okay, wait. Didn't Papa Bear mention Dawn being sort of on the outs?
On the bottom, yeah.
Right, with respect to everybody else?
Yeah, he was like, you're not in that 5.
People are going out, yeah.
Yeah. And I liked how he just like kind of was like, yeah, you're not in that 5. Do you know what I mean? Like, now, I don't know.
I mean, she kind of isn't. It's just...
Yeah.
100% not.
Yeah. So that he just kind of was like, said everything as it was. Like I liked that he was, I don't know. I wish that I think if he had been able to get in with the in crew and like have like be part of like the primary, do you know what I mean? The biggest group of numbers, like his awareness. Like, has he ever played again?
Who, Papa Bear?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure this is Papa Bear's only season.
Oh my god. Oh, dude.
No.
He's so aware of stuff. Like, if he got a little bit more traction, I think he'd be a super dangerous player.
I would like to hear maybe a top 10 list from people that would be people
Players.
who've only played once.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I would like to see again. Papa Bear.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. Definitely, that would be who my vote would be for. If yeah, dude.
Like just one of players that just get voted off. Like anyway, but yeah, there's some good ones out there.
What about a season where everyone that was there was someone that got voted off first before?
I've thought of that too, because at this point
some of those would be repeating people.
How do you mean what?
Well,
I know, but there's
someone
enough
that's got
seasons.
voted off twice first, right?
There's
someone
only
that got voted
like
off-
one.
Oh, there's one person that got voted off twice first, but
Yeah, but still, there's
Oh,
like 40
yes, there is.
seasons.
it can't
So-
all be first. That would be a boring season. No one.
You think
would
so?
watch
You don't
that.
know though.
You
They
don't
were
know
obviously
I
big
don't think so.
personalities have to go first. I feel like usually if you're first, you were
I
annoying.
thought-
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what everyone
that.
says.
I can't.
That opinion again
There it
is
is.
a whole season based off of first time eliminations would be entertaining. Would
Let's
be
do that every time now.
wrong. And then whatever she says, or whatever she says.
What? Let's go
But
down
that's
there.
wrong. You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Okay. Well, actually,
or-
we're almost to the end, so I'll leave it on there.
Sure. Or what about, have they ever, or would they ever do a season where it was like all winners? Or
Yeah,
like,
they did. I just
did
did.
they?
It was called Winners at War.
I
It's
gotta
actually the last season that came out.
Oh, Winners of War. Okay, there you go. See, I'm
It's a good
behind.
one. We should
Mine's
do that one
Season
next.
40.
Yeah.
We should do that one. We can't do that one. That has to be some sort of like Rob hasn't even seen the Rob Mariano trilogy or
Yeah, Drew hasn't seen the Rob Mariano trilogy.
There we are.
there's a lot of seasons you have to watch.
Yeah, but once they start filming again, we're gonna be on that.
Yeah, the new
Oh
one.
no, for sure. I just look
like
at
salmon
season
jumping in the
40.
stream. I'm just gonna like say.
I just look at season 40 like it's the Survivor Endgame,
Yeah, I hear you.
right? It's like it's like
And it
Avengers
closes
Endgame.
off
Yeah, it's
That chapter.
40 seasons of them built to
Who's-
this.
Who's Thanos in Survivor Endgame? Email us.
Oh, I guess Russell wasn't there though.
Jeff, the weather.
The weather.
I don't know. The fact that here, do you know who Thanos is? The fact that they use Fiji so often that they have no fruit, like no low-hanging fruit. That's why there is a certain survivor during the season that has to makeshift a ladder to climb to the top of a palm tree and like almost hurts himself because they just film in Fiji so often at the same beach that the plantation is just not as
Oh, really?
not as plentiful as it sometimes is, depending on how quickly they film.
Because somebody found fruit this season, right? They brought it and showed it off at the challenge there, right?
They don't go to Fiji pretty much full time, I think, until like 25, 26. Like it's been the last like 8 or 9 years, but yeah, it's been a while since they filmed anywhere else but Fiji. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so they do the vote and it's
Predictable.
Papa Bear.
Yeah, everyone knew. We knew. They knew. I don't think
Yeah.
this one was a secret to anyone, not even like
No,
dummies like me. So,
it wasn't a surprise. No.
Yeah.
It was disappointing, but not a surprise.
yeah.
When a random survivor suddenly starts getting like 8 minutes of screen time in an episode where you haven't really heard from him too much, and it's always right after a challenge. Yeah, it's the network.
Like, I'm waiting
"He's
for
good."
Albert.
Oh,
Is
The
that-
episode where Albert is talking a lot, I'm sure he'll go because
Yeah.
he has
You not be redneck. Yeah.
present. Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh,
As soon as Albert gets 2 talking heads in an episode, we'll just mark
Bye-bye,
the X
friend.
right there. He's
Yeah.
gone.
What would you call that? You might be getting snuffed. I don't know.
yeah. Isn't that a? I don't think
I
that's.
mean,
It's also
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You might have to beat that out. I apologize for offending anybody.
We can probably think of a
Nothing
better.
a flame. That's all.
You know what? I'm gonna take that off just while that's. I'm gonna move that for a second.
It'll be back
Doesn't need
there.
to be there. Doesn't need to be there. Everyone knows that knows. No, I'm just joking.
What
If
are
any
you
disagree
listening?
with Drew in his comments, like I said earlier, talkingsurvivor@gmail.com.
Make sure you put my name on it. So, okay. What are you listening for?
What? Oh, me? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
got
I
one
just
ear.
find if I have both my headphones on, it's I talk too loud. So I find pulling one off allows me to hear someone knocking at the door, other kind of stuff. I'm actually in a different room. I'm in the main floor of our house right now, where I'm just in essentially the living room. I'm just got a desk like 2 feet away from the wall, so it's just a blank space behind me. So it's actually good lighting. I just feel like I need to put something behind me, and I'm good to go. This might be a good setup from now on.
For sure.
Nice.
For sure.
Exciting.
Yeah,
It doesn't even look like anything. It just looks like
the walls,
like
right there.
like a green screen that doesn't make you look weird at the edges.
Yeah.
Right?
True. Okay.
Right,
Well, thank you, Internet. That was episode 3, The Survivor Buffs, season 23, episode 3. Like I've said before, if you disagree, and you know what, I'll throw it out there. If you disagree with Jess, that is also talkingsurvivor@gmail.com and at @buffs_survivor. Yeah.
Always a mistake. Always agree with me.
Have a good day, Internet.
Bye.
Bye.